Hi, I'm Catherine
And I'm Lynn, and we are a coffee break.
with Cat and Mom. Welcome back to our podcast. Today is episode 29. Like we said, we're going to do something big for episode 30. We still need to figure it out, though, but there'll definitely be espresso martinis involved. And as you can see, our background is different. We are at the pool here in our condo area. So if you hear some splashing in the background, it's just my boyfriend and my little sister doing like handstands or something.
Well, there's also people eating over there and grilling, which is what we're going to do after this. So it's kind of exciting.
Yep. Today we are talking about college, and we're literally talking about so much stuff about college. We got a conspiracy theory to talk about. It's not really a conspiracy theory that it's been like proven and they like talk about it, but it's also
there's some stuff I don't even know about. So I'm going to learn what
we're going to talk about. Is college worth it? Is it a scam? College tips and kind of just
dorm life and stuff like that.
Yeah, the overall thing. So this should be a fun episode, but
first, we're gonna do, because I'm the one who chose the place for coffee this time. I'm very excited because I work in Palm City.
Yeah.
Now, I again commute every morning because this condo, again, every episode we say it's for sale. If you want it, please let us know.
Buy the condo.
So we can sell it. But anyway, and it's right by Stewart where we're moving, and there's this. It's like a food truck kind of ish, thing. And I drove in front of it so many times. I'm like, what the heck is this place? So one of my coworkers said, it is my favorite coffee place. We need to go there. So this week I had to bring my car to the shop, to the dealership earlier. So we stopped there. We met there. And it's called Sorelle, Sorelle, homemade everything. And that's the only food truck they have there. Oh, yeah. Coffee break mug, obviously. So, brought the coffee to her. So I had, of course, the matcha.
Yeah.
With the
you got her on the matcha.
Yeah, but with the strawberry cold foam. But she said, can we do something a little bit special? She did 1 pump of like vanilla, sugar-free vanilla. But it was just a little bit. I was like, it's going to be too sweet. It was so good. I wish I had, I took like a grande, whatever, medium size. I wish I had a large. It was so good. It kept me going the whole morning.
Or
the vibe.
Hold on, never mind.
Everybody, they're only open till noon. Everybody's there in the morning. There's a line. Everybody's just, and then I got for work, I brought to work some bagel bombs, but they were just balls kind of, but it's made there. There's only 3 ingredients in there. Good. So everything is homemade.
It tasted fresh.
Yeah. It's, like they say like it's not FDA approved because it's all homemade with, gluten-free stuff and organic things and things like that. But they have like, muffins, it was, I'm going to go back. This is how good it was. I've always said like a couple places that we already talked about and reviewed.
Places that we're definitely going to go back to.
They were my favorite matcha, but I think that this one just surpassed it. But besides La Maison Création in Quebec, that was
amazing.
That was something else because the matcha came from
another little shout out to them because they've been just doing some crazy stuff that looks so good. And then I had to write mine down because I decided to go with something very crazy.
More complicated.
It's called the Sunkissed Baddie because it's me.
Because you're Sunkissed
and it has cinnamon brown sugar, cold brew topped with salted caramel cold foam and oat milk because you got to go with the oat milk. But
so it's already in the description. You just say I want that.
Sweet. I love anything like that makes me feel warm and cozy, and I'm a big cinnamon girl, so it's literally me in a drink, and it's called Sunkissed Baddie. So
there you
can't go wrong with that.
Absolutely. AKA Catherine.
Yeah. So that was our little coffee review. Go check it out if you're near Stewart. And then our weekend review, we do every episode, but recently we haven't been having crazy weeks. Actually, this weekend is the Kentucky Derby, which it was our dream last year to maybe get this podcast to the Kentucky Derby. This is me putting a shot in the dark. So next year, Kentucky Derby, invite us, please, because it was my grandma's dream to go to the Kentucky Derby, and she loved horses. So
fun fact that we learned today, that every single contestant, hopefully it's true, right? But I did read it at 2 different places. Every single horse in the Kentucky Derby, I'm guessing the main race, is a descendant of Secretariat.
So it's crazy.
This was Grandma Mona's favorite movie. When we bought it on DVD, she came to watch it the first time. We watched it with her. And we all know, every time we watch it, I've watched it maybe 10 times since then.
Yeah.
The end, you know he's winning. You know he's winning all the races, and anyway, you still freaking stress out every time you watch it. So.
Maybe for the 30th episode, we'll get hats and a dress and do like Kentucky Derby
Kentucky
themed.
theme.
That'd be crazy. But yeah, so
it should have been today. Sorry.
Yes, but maybe next episode or next year we'll actually be there so we can
really
have our
show
outfits.
Off our hats.
Yeah. So if you want to invite us next year, there's just an idea.
We can drive.
But our weekend review. What have you been up to?
Work.
Yeah, I had finals. All went good. I'm done. I have summer classes literally starting in 10 days though, so I'm not done. And
you done with the semester?
They're not online. I usually have my summer classes online, and now that we're on the topic of college, I guess I can rant a little bit. When you do summer classes, a lot of people go home, especially at Florida Atlantic. Most people are out of state because it's a school that's right on the beach, so that's like something that pulls you in. And oh, sorry, something was going on in the pool. And you would expect it to be online classes, but no, I gotta commute down to FAU and go to a 6:30 p.m. class.
I don't think it's fair because people do work, whether it's more like during the day or not. Like kids have jobs during the summer, summer jobs.
Yeah, and this is a mandatory class that I have to take if I want to graduate early. And the teacher has a 1.8 rating out of 5 on Rate My Professor.
Ugh.
I have to do presentations, and I have to do 2 consultations with her right after Nashville and right before we go to Montreal. So that's perfect.
Gonna be fun.
But at least it's not when we're there. And that's pretty much it for our weekend review.
Yeah, there was no. Well, still, getting ready to close on our home.
Yep.
In a week and a half, and trying to get stuff ready for all of our trips that we're doing because I never do anything easy. Like last year, went to Isabella's graduation in Jacksonville, then went to see her a huge trip to England, and then we moved all within 2.5 months.
It was a crazy summer. I feel like our summers are just.
And then this year it's the same thing. Moving 2 weeks later, I'm going to Cabo. 2 weeks later, it's Nashville, and then a month later, not even. Yeah, it's a month.
Yeah. But we're very blessed that we can
do all this.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just like it's. One day at a time, guys. One day at a time.
Yeah. And then I have been planning my boyfriend and I's trip abroad a little bit this week because if you want to book a Airbnb long term and you want to get like a very good Airbnb for affordable, you want to do that early. So I narrowed it down to 4, and we will then plan
in Europe, guys.
the little trips from there. Yeah, Europe.
You said it, yeah.
So that's super exciting, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But we'll dive into our topic now, college. We'll start out with our thoughts on frats and sororities, just keeping it simple at first. What are your thoughts on frats and sororities?
Well, I don't even know. I mean, okay, so all the Canadians here are probably going to see she's wrong. I don't even know if we have those in Canada. Oh, I mean, in Quebec.
Was it not big, do you think?
Well, I remember watching like movies with sororities and, fraternities and whatnot, but like Animal House and stuff like that. But I don't think we have any. Well, if we do, I have no idea. But even Palmer College, there was like one sorority, and there was a rugby house, though. Yeah, that was a huge fraternity. And maybe 2 other ones.
Well, that's a sport.
Yeah, no, but it was a fraternity too. Their letters were there. Don't ask me which one they were. And there's maybe 2 other ones, but it was not like what you see in movies or what you guys have on your
the
campus and stuff, and like the big houses and stuff. I just remember seeing them at the University of Iowa. These are beautiful homes. For the fraternities and sororities. For me, it kind of sounds like a clan or like a clique or whatever. And it's a cult. Yeah, that's probably a better word. So much money too. So much money, especially unless you want to put your FAFSA and your grant money and your, stuff there. But I think for the parents, it's so ungodly expensive.
Yeah, no.
And all the dresses you have to buy and the events.
I know people who join a sorority. So let me start off. FAU isn't big on sororities and frats. They don't have houses. They do have sororities, and I guess it's like, it's big, but like you don't need to be in it. And they don't have houses, so there's that. But the guys will like kind of split up and get these small trap houses almost, or apartments together, and then have parties at these little houses that smell like shit. I went to one Halloween party,
and it smelled
so bad. I was literally audibly gagging. I said I have to get out of here. It's so gross. So that was a
But they
terrible
do have
experience.
big parties though.
They
When we
have
went to parent
Yep,
weekend, that was
they host amazing tailgates and
yeah.
for basketball and football. So there's that. We get free drinks, free party, pretty much right on campus with police just standing there letting it happen. So
Literally, they're
there's
there
like the
just to
one
make sure
perk
there's no
is you
fights.
get a fun school environment there. I'll talk about the negatives of that later, but I don't know. I'm not going to say who actually. They paid so much for these sororities, or to be in the sorority. They eventually dropped out because it was like dumb. I guess it's at FAU. It's different, or the specific sorority. They're paying so much, and they even had to pay a furniture fee or something. But they didn't even have a house, and they're like, "Oh, that's
Oh,
just in the future if we ever get a place." Because Boca has a limit of how many people can live in a house. But it was
oh,
like, why are you paying for that? And then also they said that the initiation was super weird. They had to wear all white. There's girls with these holding these candles around in a circle singing, and they were trying not to laugh so hard. And the president was in this like tent thingy with the book of oath that
oh,
they had. She was like just her head sticking out, and then had them like
oh.
sign
Wait,
it.
wait. What's the movie? Pitch Perfect.
Yeah,
When
it
you
was
do
kind of
this
yeah.
and drink the blood of whatever, like
Yeah.
what is this blood?
Yeah, no, and then they had to sign their name, and they're not allowed to talk about what goes on, but I got to hear it. Apparently, I forget, it's a big school. I don't know, maybe LSU, Alabama, I'm not sure. But they had girls fanning the president with peacock feathers.
Oh Jesus.
So, super weird. I think that there's a lot of perks to sororities, especially if you're at a big school and you kind of need to be in a sorority to
Well, make
friends.
friends and be
But
part of a group. I was just gonna say that
you can
there's
have,
a positive.
yeah. But you can have an amazing. I can't speak on frats. I know there's a bad hazing issue, especially with
Yeah.
frats. That's really screwed up. But I can't really speak
Still
on
to
that.
this day, it's like if you get caught,
Yeah, there's people who literally have died from it.
yes. I mean, you can end up in jail and whatnot, and still they still do it. Like what? But and then that I think, and it's totally. I'm not saying like I'm judging this or whatever, but it's a stereotype or what people already conceive about fraternities. Not all of them, but some of them, especially the ones that think they're above the law. Like they can do whatever
Like,
they
oh, because
want
they did this to me when I was a freshman,
because
I can.
because
Like,
no, not just that, like, because they have money.
oh yeah,
And daddy's gonna come in. I mean, I'm just saying it's a stereotype. I'm not saying that they're all like that,
yeah.
but unfortunately, I think there is some. I don't know. Anyways, I don't want to get like bad vibe or bad words about this, but
I can't speak on frats, but I know.
that's from the movies.
Yeah,
What have you seen movies?
I have a lot of friends that have had great experiences in sororities. I think it's ungodly expensive. You can have an amazing college experience without being in a sorority.
Mhm.
I did, and so I was
You
at a
still
school that
do.
you didn't really need it. But if you're going in like from out of state and you know nobody, it'll definitely help you make
Question,
friends.
but you would be able to answer this. Do they have sororities and fraternities to pretty much all colleges?
Yeah,
They offers those
yeah.
group? Okay.
But it just depends on if it's big or not. I actually did pay the $75 to Rush and get a shirt, and last minute
Expensive t-shirt.
I was like, it's just not for me. Like, I'm not doing it. Some other people, it would be perfect for
I think
them.
your sister
They're
wanted to try
outgoing.
to.
Yeah, they're outgoing. They just want to, like, I don't know, maybe even make their way up to president. That's awesome. But and it makes great connections. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what are they called? People who have a legacy or whatever.
Yeah, well,
like, let's say you go to get a job. And
like Legally Blonde. I mean,
Yeah,
there's a big sorority in that movie.
yeah. But if the boss that's gonna hire you is also Sigma Kappa, she's like, oh my
he's like,
gosh,
oh yeah, that's my sister. Yeah.
yeah. So there's that. But that's pretty much all I have to say about that because
That's
I've never
still
been in one.
discrimination though, because if you're not
Yeah,
Sigma
it's not fair.
Kappa,
That's
you should still be
Sigma Kappa.
Kappa.
Who's the Kappa from Monsters University? That's the only frat I'll join.
I was just gonna say this too. I
Let's
mean, I
see.
like those.
Next, college dorm life.
I don't know any of that. I had an apartment.
I lived on the dorms at FAU, and personally, it wasn't as bad, or in my opinion, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. We got Glades, which was supposed to be like gross and moldy,
If
and
that was gross, then I don't know what gross
but
is.
it was so nice compared to all the other college dorms I've seen. It was beautiful. I had an amazing time. Everything was clean. There's just maybe some mold in the shower, but what college dorm doesn't have mold? But
And you're in Florida.
we had our own bathroom in our dorm, so
And
it's
shower.
perfect.
You didn't have to, because I remember your older sister, the first year, they had to share.
Yeah,
It was like a
a
community, like kind of
hallway.
bathroom. Yeah, you
That's
have
how
to
it
go
was
in
in
the
Iowa
hallway
City
to go to
too.
the bathroom and
Or
stuff. When she was a sophomore, it was like two girls and two girls, and in the middle they had one shower and two toilets, or
mhm.
one toilet. I think it was two toilets and one shower, or
Yeah.
something like that. No, two sinks, but
Oh
one
yeah,
shower and
yeah.
one toilet. But at least it was like there, and then it was the apartments for the last
Mhm.
3 years. But I will say that your dorm was nicer in cleanliness point than your apartment that you had.
Yeah,
That
my
apartment
apartment.
was freaking
Yeah,
nasty.
so that's the thing. Well, one, college dorm life amazing because I got to live with three other girls. Forces you to be social and meet people. You meet their friends. You all do stuff like literally everything together.
And
And
you
that's
moved in
amazing.
together for the
Yeah,
second year.
you're right on campus. I know a lot of people have roommate horror stories, and people have literally like. There's one person that was like, my roommate peed on the floor and went to bed. She was so drunk. Like that's crazy. I've never had a bad experience. Like some crazy roommate horror story. So I got lucky. We all went to the dining hall together. It was a walk away. Everything was a walk away. There were some dorm parties in one of the buildings called Heritage. It was just one hall, and everybody was friends. They were always out in the hallway talking.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, that wasn't really our floor at our place. But I went with my friend to the other dorm building and met everybody, and that was really cool that they had that like
Vibe.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
good.
the RA was super chill there too. So I definitely encourage staying in a dorm at your college because you'll meet so many people. You might have a bad roommate, but
Especially as a
really you'll
freshman.
meet great people. Yeah, as a freshman,
You can also try to get switched, right?
yeah,
Is it
you can.
doable?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then also, my boyfriend stayed in a dorm too at University of Iowa, and he met people he still talks to. So
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely worth
I
it.
will say that his was far away from any
Yeah.
university building, though. Holy cow! But
No.
they had a transportation
Mhm.
service.
The one problem with FAU is they only provide housing for freshmen and sophomores, and after that, you're shit out of luck, and you have to figure out how to pay
You're
a
waiting
thousand
Boca
dollars.
Raton.
Yeah, you have to figure out how you're gonna pay for $1,000 at least a month in
That's
Boca
minimum plus
minimum.
utilities and plus
Yeah,
gas
so
and plus parking
um,
at school.
yep, you got to figure
It's
that
freaking
out.
stupid.
It's terrible. Well, parking we get free, but it's just
You
so
have to pay
annoying.
for parking. What are you talking
No,
about? You even got a ticket because you didn't get your sticker.
no, that was an accident. I didn't renew it. You have to renew it on in
Oh, okay.
every or after each semester.
Okay.
So that's my bad. But they give out tickets like no other. It's insane. If you just forget to renew it, you're a student here, but you're gonna get a ticket. At least once you'll get a
Oh,
ticket.
there's cops all over that campus.
Yeah.
Like they're
But
serious about their.
it just also like FAU prioritizes their freshmen or their incoming class. They want as many people to come in, take all the housing. So the people that are already there, they're like, all right, you're already locked in, so figure
So
it
yeah.
out.
And the thing is, like, there's a lot of land that I think should be utilized. I know some of the land is saved for the
The
owls.
burying owls, it's
Yeah.
you can't touch that.
But no, but there's some other place. I mean, they should figure that shit out because I mean, I'm your mom, and that's one of the reasons. I mean, of multiple other reasons why I moved down here, but it's to help you to stay at least at home because
Yeah, I'm
I
not
couldn't
paying.
afford to help you to
That's literally
stay.
$1,000. That's just going down the drain every month to stay in a small apartment. I'm
Yeah,
not doing that. I would have
on
moved
top of
back
your
home and done
tuition and
online.
stuff. Yeah.
So that's just the downside. If you go to FAU, you have to figure out how to find
And hey,
off-campus housing.
maybe a lot of people are complaining. Maybe it will change. I don't know, but
Well, they are making more housing, so
okay.
but that's probably more sophomore housing. So there's that. I'm sure that's a problem at other schools too. That they kind of just prioritize the lower class because that's who brings them the money.
I would say Jacksonville University. I don't think Isabella had that issue, but I will say the building for freshmen, the building for sophomore, because that's how it was.
Hmm.
Um, they were not. I mean, she was very lucky to have two rooms that were fine and not moldy or anything like that. But you could, online when you go on social media, like parents have the Facebook, group,
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, I did read some horror stories on some of those dorms, and then all of a sudden, like the apartments actually for Isabella, her junior year, the apartment, like they had cats that, like the people during the summer stayed there for school, and they had cats and they peed. So we walked in there, and it was carpet in the bedrooms, and it
Yeah.
was It's cat pee. You know, like you have to remove. It was terrible. That was just
Gross.
like for, and
You're,
then they removed it and it was fine. But I mean, like sometimes I don't know.
no, you're probably gonna run into at least like one problem
One
later.
problem at some point, but
Yeah.
I think they had enough space though for everybody.
And then also for the dorm life, if you don't decorate it right, it's not going to feel cozy and at home.
Yeah.
My mom helped me a lot with the decorating, and I loved my decorations my freshman and sophomore year. My sophomore year, I honestly felt like it was so like cozy, and we
Your
had
room was really cool.
there were so many colors, and I don't know, everything was just so put together. The room for my sophomore year in my apartment was a lot smaller because it was just one person instead of two people sharing. So
It was still big.
it
If you think
felt,
about
but
it,
yeah,
you had like, you know, the bed, the desk, a chair, another little piece of furniture,
yeah.
the closet.
But
I mean, it was okay.
a little tip for that, since we're doing college tips later in this episode, but a little tip. I know that Shein is not something that should be promoted, but I got all my stuff off Shein or Amazon. They have very cheap like wall collages and stuff, and that's what I got it all from. And it was kind of like travel based. Like there was like one that was
Yeah,
Italy,
yeah,
France,
she did have a travel
Italy,
theme,
France, and I don't know, something
like
else.
nights and stuff
And then
like
we
that.
had like some ocean kind of themed stuff. Like everything was very not tropical, but like travel-ish, but not like the cringy travel. Like you feel like you're, I don't know, it feels European, I think.
It
And then it
was.
had like the sticky tiles.
Yeah,
It
you did
looked
have
like
that.
Greek.
What was your theme when you were a freshman? Because I
That was
remember.
like very like pastels.
Yes,
And I
that's
used
true.
a lot of like the same decorations, just I added
Different,
more.
yeah.
And that felt so open. It was I loved both years, and
Well,
you
it
can
was
get
good for your
cheap stuff.
freshman because you got in. We got there first. I think you were the first in that.
Yeah, and I got to pick the
So
biggest set of the room.
biggest side of that room, yeah, because there were two rooms, so you knew you were in that room.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was good. But
No,
it
and
was
Five Below too.
Five Below.
They
That's where we
had
got. I knew there was another
yeah,
place.
I had
That's where we got a lot of stuff.
fake plants and stuff, a hanging fake plant, and then just add some greenery and nature, and then these cool shaped candles.
But I'm gonna say like something that's really funny to differentiate between you and your oldest sister, who was like we were like in the room. I remember for your sister, and it was so small. Do you remember? It was so small as a freshman. Two beds next to each other, barely space for a desk and stuff. It was ridiculous. And I remember she was just like dictating. That's what you do. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make the bed. Catherine, you open this and this.
Yeah.
She was really dictating, which was fine. It was her dorm. Catherine starts one thing, opens another thing, opens another thing. I want to do this, and I was like, okay, that's it.
Yeah, she did
I'm
everything
like,
for me.
you sit down, you take all of your shit out of your luggage, and you hang it. I will take care of the bed, and then we'll move on to the next step. And she's like, okay, because you were like, it was everywhere.
I just get so overwhelmed and excited about everything that I need to
At
do
the same time,
everything.
it was a freaking mess. And then we were like picking up as we went and stuff. So it ended up being good. But at the beginning, I was like, I was getting like overwhelmed.
No, I'm not.
Shit everywhere. I'm like, I want to be fucking done. And then we're going to go shopping. And then we're going to come back. Then we're going to go eat. So that was pretty important.
Definitely decorate it how you want it, because you're going to be living in that for the next year.
Yeah.
And you don't want it to be, you don't want bare walls, because you're not going to you're going to be spending most of your time.
Yeah, in
there.
that dorm. And especially if you need to get away and this is your cocoon, this is your safe place. You want it to, be like you want to be there.
Yeah. Now for this little middle segment, we're going to talk about a little conspiracy theory that I've been interested in. And I decided to research because I saw a TikTok. And so before we go into is college worth it and college tips, we're going to talk about the secret societies.
But I want to say something about that. When she brought this up to me, and I'm like, do you mean about like Dead Poet Society? So if you guys have not seen that movie, you need to go see that movie.
Yes.
You need to rent it or whatever. It's probably on Disney or whichever. It's I thought that's what you meant.
No.
She's like, no, that's not what it is. I'm like, what?
So first, I'm just going to read off some of the stuff that I read. But it's the Skull and Bone Society in Yale, and it has very big names that have been in it. There's secret societies at Harvard, at other like big colleges. So I'll just explain to you. The Skull and Bone Society is one of the most famous and mysterious secret societies in the United States, with all kinds of legends and conspiracy theories. It's at Yale University, founded in 1832, and one of the several elite senior societies at Yale. And it's made up of selected students in their final year of undergrad. Here are some of the famous members that have been a part of it: George H.W. Bush, George W. Bush, John Kerry, and William F. Buckley Jr. What do they do? So actually,
Wait,
nobody,
if it is so private, how do we know their names?
because they people know who has been in it, but they've been asked in interviews like, so what goes on in it, and they're like, well, it's called a secret society for a reason. We can't tell you, and it's like so weird. So here is maybe a little bit of. Is there a bug on me?
No, there was a bug.
There was a
So
bug,
no,
guys. Anyway,
keep that.
um,
There's a bug. There's a bug. I would have done the same thing. Go ahead.
the society is extremely secretive about its rituals, meetings, and activities. Members reportedly gather at windowless buildings on Yale's campus known as the Tomb, where they participate in elaborate initiation ceremonies and confidential meetings.
About what?
We don't really know, but the society's importance comes from high-profile positions, as members often go on to hold. Some claim it's a powerful network. Oh wait, I totally read that wrong. Anyway, you got what I meant. Some claim it's a powerful network that influences politics, finance, and global affairs behind the scenes.
I bet it does.
Yeah. So, according to former members, initiates supposedly lie in coffins, confess their deepest sexual secrets, and perform symbolic rituals meant to bind them together for life. That's freaking weird, dude.
That is, yep.
There's a rumor. This is really cool. Actually, no, this is creepy. There's a rumor that the society once stole the skull of Geronimo from his grave and still sits in the tomb.
What?
Yeah, isn't that creepy? But
That's Yale?
there's some more.
Okay.
Some conspiracy theorists believe Skull and Bones is connected to the New World Order, an alleged secretive elite aiming for total global control. That's just weird, man. Like, what are these college students doing and these weird ass, like...
And, okay, so the way you're talking is that these people are in political science or business or...
I guess, yeah, they're just people... Maybe they're probably people that have, like, powerful...
families.
Families, yeah.
Yeah, not somebody like you and I coming in. I'm going to go in, like, I'm going to major in music. Yeah, you ain't making it to the Skull and Bones. Is that Skull and Bones?
Skull and Bones, yeah.
Okay.
Now, I will list off some other secret societies that exist, because it's not just Skull and Bones, and you can go do your own research as well. We obviously don't know that much because it's secret, and these are very powerful people.
I mean, I believe it, but I kind of don't believe
No,
it.
they're
but
real.
I believe it, you know?
They're real, we just don't know what they do. Next is Scrolling Key, which is at Yale, founded in 1841. Second most elite after Skull and Bones. Members supposedly lean more towards politics and law. And they also have a
law,
secret
that's what I was
tomb
thinking, yeah.
and strict silence rules.
Okay, so this is Yale's, like, thing.
Yeah.
A tomb.
And so that's just another elite network. The next one is Wolf's Head, which is at Yale. Like, what are these
What'd
names?
you say? Why Yale? Is there any other universities?
Yeah. 1883.
1883. Holy shit.
Third of the Yale Big Three. Less notorious, but still considered high society. Members meet in a similar fortified tomb. So the food chain,
the freaking tomb.
the food chain goes Skull and Bones, Scrolling Key, Wolf's Head. So you probably wouldn't want to be in Wolf's Head because you're like bottom of the food chain.
But you're still part of a secret society, so you're cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next, I don't think this is a college secret society. I think it's just powerful people go to it, but there are probably people that have been in these secret societies that end up going.
Okay.
It's called the Bohemian Club or Bohemian Grove. You've heard of it, right?
No.
Oh, it's in California.
Well, why would I have heard of it?
1872, San Francisco.
Francisco.
It's an
else.
this is ultra exclusive club of the richest men in politics, business, and media. Every July, 2,000 plus members gather at Bohemian Grove, a private forest retreat in Northern California. You know what the Big
This
Owl?
is cultish.
No, you know the Big Owl?
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody's allowed on those grounds. Guests have included Ronald Reagan, Richard Nixon, George H.W. Bush, Henry Kissinger, Clint Eastwood, and oil tycoons like David Rockefeller.
Okay.
David Rockefeller, that's crazy. Ritual includes the cremation of care ceremony where they burn a coffin effigy? Yeah, my bad. Beneath a 40-foot stone owl to symbolically rid themselves of worldly concerns. And it's real. That's real.
Okay.
So
I think it's just people that just go to big freaking parties, talk politics, trying to change the world. What do you call it to get in? The initiation. I want to know what's the initiation. Do they have to?
I don't know. You probably have to
drink beer.
No, you probably have to drink some blood under the owl.
Oh my gosh, gross.
Anyway, I'm big into conspiracy theories, and I think it's crazy that all these elite people are doing just weird stuff. Like,
Are we so surprised?
yeah, facts. Like,
Are we?
why are you doing weird stuff with like this massive owl? Like, what does the owl mean? But I think I don't know. I really don't know. But
But if you guys
hopefully,
know something, let us know. I want to learn
yeah.
about
If you guys
this.
have
This is
questions, we
kind of
can do
cool.
a whole topic about this weird stuff. But
I will
I
research
just
even more because
hopefully-
I did not know.
I don't want to say too much because I'm scared I'm gonna go missing.
Yeah, that's true. But I really would like to learn more about it, though. I mean, I find
Yeah.
it very interesting.
It's just weird that like they just happen to be such powerful people now in our world. But with these
Is
secret
this like
societies,
man helping man? I mean, I
no,
don't
now
know.
women are allowed to be in it.
In
Hillary Clinton.
Freemasons?
Hillary Clinton has actually been at the Bohemian Grove.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't
I'm
know.
gonna stop talking just in case. Like, we do not wish to die.
Yeah. Sorry. My bad. Moving on. Is college worth it? Well, if you're in one of these secret societies, I don't know. Probably worth it because you get to
Do
make
all
a bunch
these
of money.
things.
Yeah. No, but one second. Back to what I was saying. I wonder if these guys just sit around the table and they're like, "This is gonna be so dope. They're gonna think we're doing some crazy shit in here." Like they're under this owl. And
They're probably
like,
not doing
they're under this
anything.
owl. They're gonna be like, "This rids us of worldly concern." Like the outside people are gonna be like, "What?
Yeah.
Like this is crazy."
Or it's just one big gigantic party.
or it's just a big joke.
Yeah.
You know, they're just like seeing it if we're gullible. But moving on, is college worth it? It depends on your circumstance for sure.
Depends on what you're studying.
You can absolutely, if you want to start your own business, you don't need a business degree. It helps, but you don't need a business degree. If you want to, yeah, that's pretty much, I mean, what else could you do if you don't get a business degree? You could go to trade school.
Oh, trade school, and we need people
Yeah.
to go to trade school.
You make great money.
I mean, especially right now, there's such a huge shortage. I remember one of your like a student that was in school with you, like him and his brother, mom and dad actually were my patients in Iowa, and he left for trade school I think it was in Wisconsin that he went to school, got a job within 2 years, and like I'm not kidding, the way he calculated it is that you could actually retire by the age of like 30, between 35 and 40 and be comfortably. I mean, he wants to go higher than that, but
Yeah.
he said this is how much they need workers,
Yeah.
electrician and plumbers and whatnot. But you still need to go to college if you want to become like a veterinarian,
Oh, yeah.
a doctor,
There's stuff
anything
where
that's
you- if
medical.
it's
You
your
have no
dream to-
choice, you know?
Yeah, you have to go to college. But again, if you want to start your own business, you don't need to put all that money into a business degree.
Mhm.
If you want to do like, there's assistance for like the IV. You know, IVs are huge right now. You just have to take a test and probably go through a program. But there's a lot of things now
I think
that
it's
you
just
just
a
need to get
CRN.
like a certification in, and you don't really need to do much past that. What else? You can go out of school and do like accounting, not accounting, but the bank. You know, when you turn your check in at the bank.
A teller.
Yeah, you can be a
bank
bank teller. You don't need a
No,
degree.
but some people do actually. That's a job that they do while they go to school
Yeah,
to get
so
a degree.
There's many things that you can
Because
do.
being an accountant, you need to go to accounting school.
Yeah.
You need to go to college for
You can
that.
be a coach. You can start a sports team. There's so much you can do.
I think that it's okay. I don't know how to explain this because I see it both ways. I'm going to be like a little devil's advocate here. I think that when people want to hire, you know, like
Yeah.
so the employees, the boss, you know, the whatever, the CEO want to, you know, hire an employee, and some of them have a degree, some of them don't have a degree. Yes, for some jobs, is it really worth it? Does it make a big freaking difference to have a degree or not?
Yeah.
To the point of view of what you're going to hire them for, maybe it doesn't matter. But it also matters that you were in school, you had to
Yeah.
follow rules, you had to do a schedule, you had to, you know, take a homework, and so many things that come to be able to juggle like a day's worth of things. So the people that went to school and got a degree, I mean, is it worth it
But
to
it's
pay for
crazy.
4 years?
Yeah, it's crazy
No.
to pay
But
for
I'm
4
just saying,
years
like,
for-
this is where sometimes makes a difference, you know?
Mhm.
And I think sometimes school can prepare you for this kind of interview, this kind of job, and this and that. Again, is this worth like spending $60,000 to get
Yeah.
that degree?
It
No,
just depends
but
on if you can get scholarships and stuff.
yeah, it
If
depends on where you go, what you're
what you want
studying
to
in,
do.
and stuff like that. And then there's some other places that they don't care what you got as a degree.
Hmm.
They just like, can you be personable? Can you, like,
Have leadership skills. Like there's
yes,
people that go to college just have no social skills,
no.
and
I
so
went
they'll
to a
choose a person that can hold a conversation.
I went to a chiropractic college, and I don't want to, go down, just go down. I should have never said that. I went to chiropractic school, and the four valedictorians, because there was four, two of them were able to, because we were all adjusting each other, right? Like we
Yeah.
have to practice. Two were able to actually have a conversation, explain to what was going on, and was, adjusting. The other two, no social skills. There is
Yeah.
no freaking way these people are adjusting today. But maybe they're teachers. So
That's another thing is college doesn't even guarantee you a job.
no,
So I will say for me, college is needed because I am a finance major and I would like to either work up the corporate ladder or be a financial advisor, or
or start our own
or
business,
yeah, work
or
yeah
this
taking off. So I
taking
know,
off.
so this
We need your help for this.
so loans will be paid for by a podcast, and I don't even have to use my degree. Actually, I'd use my degree,
You would use your
finance,
degree
for
to
the
help,
business.
yeah.
But yeah, for me, I'd say it is worth it. I have learned a lot, but also recently, professors have been, they tell you not to plagiarize, right? Professors tell you not to plagiarize. They literally just reuse other people's pre made tests, pre made PowerPoints, pre made videos. Like, I, they're, and I'm not going to say everybody because I had an amazing professor that literally pushed me to go invest, and I've actually been applying what I've learned. But most professors that I've gotten here at FAU have not really taught me anything. I've had to go teach myself the topic because it's just reading off a PowerPoint.
Especially when there's a teacher that has a huge language barrier.
Yeah, and I can't understand what you're saying. And you know your shit. Like you know what you're talking about. You're an expert, but you can't teach.
She did show me a class because, it's online as well. So like they could be just a repeat from last year, from 10 years ago for that matter. If you wear a polo shirt and jeans, like nobody knows, that's was recorded yesterday or 10 years ago, but you could tell he was so enthusiastic about his
He was making
material.
jokes. I couldn't understand what the jokes were.
I couldn't even understand it. You said, like, look, listen. I'm like, I listened for what, 5 minutes, picked up 2 words.
Yeah, I feel terrible, but it's just when you have a professor and you are getting a degree and you're paying all this money, you want to be able to understand your professor.
Yeah.
So there's that goes into, is college worth it? These professors aren't worth the thousands of dollars it is. Like if I'm going to pay that money, I want to get a good professor and I want to get something out of it.
Yeah.
So
And it depends also where you're going. Like your sister went to, because she was on scholarship, she was a college athlete. It was a private college. Bless their heart, at Jacksonville University. Amazing campus, is great. Maybe the wrong part of the town, outside of the gated community. But let me tell you, it was like $62,000. $62,000 to go to this university, and it's just like,
yeah.
I no, like, why would you? And because she was on scholarship, that's okay, because she got a teaching degree.
Yeah.
Like, would anybody in their right mind spend $62,000 to have a teaching degree? No.
No.
You go somewhere else,
Yeah,
But
that's more affordable. And now, I mean, it doesn't matter sometimes what college you go to. So, I mean, a tip for like the listener is choose a cheaper option and what you're gonna come out of college with the less loans for, because
you're gonna pay this baby back forever.
yeah.
Yes,
So
people that went to Yale, Princeton, all the Ivy Leagues,
obviously
they're
that
gonna
looks
tell
better.
you, like, yes, you went to
a
Harvard
prestigious
Law.
school, yeah.
It's gonna look a whole lot better if you went to Scott
Yeah.
University's law, whatever. But that doesn't mean you're a a worse lawyer or attorney
No.
because you didn't go to Harvard. No,
Just got
there's
a better
dumbasses coming
education,
out of
yeah.
Harvard. Some of them just had money, but like
Yeah.
we said, maybe they can't even talk, in front
Or
of
they're in the
people.
secret society and they have a family that's
That
high
backs
up.
them up. So
You never know.
you never know.
So one last thing about FAU is they seem to prioritize the college experience and life and party life and glamorous, like they call it
You're in
paradise,
Boca.
Florida, beach, way over education. Our athletics suck. Education's not great. But the Florida life's amazing. And that's also something that I mean, I love FAU because of the location. Like I said, it's amazing. They push that a
You got
lot.
some great teachers, so you did get
Yes, I
some
did
good
get some good
teachers.
teachers, but that's one thing is I don't think that a school should be pushing the party life. They should be pushing education. So that's something that's off for sure. But either way, I've saved a lot going to FAU. I'm gonna get a degree. So I mean that's all that matters.
Oh, she's graduating early, so
Yeah.
there you go.
So I mean it all works out.
And we all
In
moved to
this
Florida.
case, college is worth it for me because I'm saving a lot of money and I'm hopefully gonna get a job out of college. So
Good.
it worked out.
Because we helped pay for it too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, I'm not going to drop out.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we are going to go into our last segment, which is called college tips. We don't have that much time, but I would say go and put yourself out there. Go to clubs or go and join Instagram groups, meet people. Go out. Don't say just huddle up in your dorm. Just go out and meet people. It's the best thing for you.
we touched that up on the
Yeah.
last podcast. That was very important.
Budget your money. You have a cafeteria. Use it. I know the food might not be great, but you're going to wish you had it when you don't have it. That's what happened to me. Don't order a bunch of Uber groceries when you have a free cafeteria. Well, not free, but you paid for it. Cafeteria right
Yeah,
there.
you have your whatever FAU bucks, whatever it was called, JU dollars and stuff. Like, use it because it's like I said, you can figure something out that you like, and it cannot be all that bad depending on where you go. But I know, like, you guys sometimes, or even your sisters, like, I don't want to eat there. It's bad food, blah, 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 blah. So I want to use my JU bucks. And then next thing you know, she was out of that money. And like, I just want to go to the store, grocery store and buy stuff. Like, no, we already paid for the food. Like,
Yeah.
figure it out, you know? So they make sandwiches.
Yeah. Next one is go on Rate My Professor before you pick out your teachers. Unfortunately, I got stuck with a bad one. She was the only option, but it has saved me a lot. Like I've chosen the teachers that have the better ratings, and like the other option would have been a 1 out of 5, and she's terrible and is a hard grader. So
So we're gonna have to have like a little grading at the end of your summer class, since it's a 1.8 after out of 5 that you're
yeah,
getting.
and I can grade her teaching at the end of this. I actually saw somebody on Rate My Professor. The teacher or the professor was responding to the hate comments, and she was like, well, I said it was going to be hard. Like, she's just giving, like, smart-ass comments back, and it was hilarious. It almost made me want me to take her class, but the ratings were so bad, I was like,
Oop.
maybe not. She's funny. She's smart. She's, like, a little smart-ass, but no.
Just in
good.
case she doesn't give good grades. Nope.
Like, network. They have network events at your school. So I unfortunately didn't go to them because I don't know why, and I kind of regret it because I know a lot of people that did go to the networking business events, and now they have internships. So I should have done that, and I regret not doing that. And my friend, she probably would have gone with me. So just find somebody that'll go with you. You'll probably meet people there too.
Do they have like college fair? Not
Yeah, they have
college fair,
college
but job fairs.
They
yeah.
do career
Because I had
fairs.
that at Palmer as well.
At the gym, actually. And then also try to get on good terms with your teachers. Like, consistently show up to class, smile, make eye contact, let them know that, like, you're there and you're paying attention. And maybe, like,
Even if you're bored up your mind,
Yeah.
just
talk to them, ask some questions here and there, just so that you get on their good side and they know that you're trying. So maybe at the end of the class and you need a 0.5% to pass or get an A.
and then you
They got
never
you.
know which teacher has actually good connections.
Yeah.
And then they show that, you were there, you showed up, you did your best. They're not dumb. Some of them know damn well their freaking subject is boring, but you need it to pass and get your degree. You never know which one will actually help you.
Yeah.
And that could be that teacher. So
Yeah. So definitely go to class. And also, I need to follow this, but don't procrastinate. Freshman and sophomore year, I did a really good job at getting my stuff done. Recently, I've been procrastinating a little bit, but I mean, I'm done. It just causes so much stress. So study at least a week in advance. Space it into segments, rewrite your notes, and blue pen because it helps your brain register. So that's pretty much all we have for today's segment. I know it was a little all over the place. We had to throw in the fun topic of secret societies because I just learned
And I'm
about
gonna
it.
have to go learn about
Yeah,
this.
and it had to do with college a little bit. Please don't, I don't know, come for our lives because of this. I just thought it was interesting. And if you guys know more, let us know.
Let us know.
Don't freaking like kill us because we're talking about this.
Okay,
I
get
just
over it.
thought it was interesting.
That,
Anyway,
go check out Sorrel, little coffee like food truck, whatever, in Stewart, Florida. If you're around that area, it's amazing, and we'll go and take pictures and put it on our Instagram, maybe whatever. But
follow us on Instagram at a coffee_break. Did I say TikTok or Instagram?
Instagram.
Oh, Instagram at a coffee.break, TikTok at a coffee_break, YouTube a coffee break with Cat and Mom. Our video podcasts are on Spotify and YouTube, and we have our audio podcast on pretty much everything else but Apple Podcasts. So subscribe, follow whatever you're listening to, and let us know what you think of today's episode.
And we always finish with "Would you rather?" And then again, this one comes from your baby sister. Would you rather have lived in Ice Age or the dinosaur era?
Dinosaur era, because apparently dinosaurs weren't as big as we really thought they were, and they looked more like big birds. So I think I can coexist with dinosaurs and hide. So
Okay.
yeah.
Except the T-Rex.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next week for our 30th episode, and that'll be a very fun and exciting one. And thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys next week.
Have a great week.